Gracie Rowan would like to come up and say a few words.
Promised myself I would not cry, so I'm going to work on that. When I began to think about what I wanted to write in my speech, I went to talk to Mr. Bell, and he said to me something along the lines of, just share what's important to you and what stands out that you'll take away from your time here, etc., etc. Oh, and don't forget, you'll be up there in front of 500 strangers as well. So now let me break that barrier down really quick and maybe you'll be a little less nervous. Hi everyone, I'm Gracie, and I've been lucky enough to attend the center school with all of these incredible people up here on stage with me. Now I still don't know you all, but we're all here for the same reason, to celebrate the accomplishments of these amazing people. And I thank you for being here to celebrate with us. I personally started my high school journey at Holy Names Academy, which is a Catholic all-girls school here in Seattle, and I quickly realized that that was not the place for me and ended up at Center after a semester. I have to say that was possibly one of the best decisions I've ever made in my 18 years on this planet. Center has been incredibly welcoming, accepting, challenging, and a fun place to spend my high school years. I can look back and be so grateful that I spent these years surrounded by kind, funny, smart people that have all influenced me in a way that I will never forget. So when I sat down to decide what I wanted to write, I started with a list. And here I am with a slightly more elegant version of that list that I titled, Things We Should Take Away from Our Time at the Center School, and some other cool stuff we did here too. Number 1, always fight for what you know and believe is right. Now I think a lot of us learned this our sophomore year when Mr. Greenberg, our senior humanities teacher, was transferred due to a controversy with his race curriculum. Many of us didn't know Greenberg. We had never had him as a teacher, and we still fought passionately against his transfer because we knew in our hearts that what was happening wasn't right. Now, I know back then it was a smaller portion of our class that got involved in the protest, but earlier this year, Mr. Greenberg returned to the school and was nearly suspended for 2 more weeks by the district, so some of us weren't happy about that. But I remember when I first found out about this, my thought was not only, this isn't fair to him, but it's not fair to us to be left without instruction for 2 weeks. So that night, I talked with Maddie Barnett, and we organized a walkout as a way for students to express their opinion if they wanted. I was shocked by how many people participated in marching out of school, walking downtown and getting ourselves all the way to the school district building, knowing the consequences of skipping class, and not knowing how the district would react to 150 people showing up on their front lawn. But we banded together, Doria wrote a really powerful letter, we collected signatures, and we fearlessly marched down, peacefully protested and handed them our letter, because we knew it was the right thing to do, even if it was a little scary. And guess what? They commended our passion and listened, not only in that situation, but with our incredible senior project work and challenges that generally we face as a class. I've admired our creative passion in standing up for what we know is right. Number 2, art is a huge part of life and learning. We have all been extremely lucky to go to a school with an art focus and integration. And I have to say, I don't think there's one person up here on stage who hasn't made an incredible art piece in their time here at Center. Whether it be a beautiful painting, a powerful poetry piece, an incredible drama performance, a poster that makes a statement, an image that captures a whole story, or a film that stands up for something you believe in. All of us have made something we will never forget. Now, as much as society likes to hate on art and stress the focus on the supposedly more important things like math and science, I have learned that art plays a huge part in every subject, and I challenge us all to keep art in our lives as we move forward into whatever passions we choose. Number 3, there will be people in this world that will be hard to work with, but you gotta power through and deal with it. Now I'll keep this one short, and I'm not gonna name any names, but we were all in Mr. Bell's humanities class last year with a certain student teacher that challenged us all, and they know who I'm talking about. I think in that time and moment, we learned so many skills on talking to different people, or to people with different viewpoints and mindsets, and overall, we can thank him for a learning experience and Mr. Bell for mental support. Sorry, that was harsh. Number 4, be yourself and don't give a crap what people say. I hope I'm not sounding too much like a motivational speaker right now, but bear with my corniness. The most common thing people say that they love about Center, that you've heard both the people say up here, is how accepting it is, and to all the unique personalities that we have wandering our hallways. Now I know that the rest of the world is not the same as our little bubble of acceptance at Center, and going out into a world where people constantly judge you is not easy. However, Center has given me the opportunity to figure out who I am and who I want to be. And with that opportunity, walking out into the real world will be a lot easier. So, to my class I say, ignore the haters and find people who like you the way you are. Most importantly, own your personality. This is a tough one, but I challenge us all to keep in mind who we are and never lose that because of what others think and say. And finally, number 5, do what you love. The nice thing about high school and college in general is that you get to test out all sorts of different subjects and activities and find the things you like and the things that you don't like. I mean, sure, it sucks to have to go to the class that you hate every day, but at least you know that it's not something for you. On the other hand, we all know the feeling of going into our favorite class and lighting up with passion when we're learning about stuff we love and find interesting. Remember that passion and remember that feeling, and follow a pathway in life that allows you to feel that way. Don't settle for something that you can just deal with. Overall, I have learned so much for all of you, and I will never forget how much my time at Center has meant to me. As much as we have all complained the last few months about senioritis and wanting to be done with school, I'll miss you all so much, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for all of us. Thank you.